Hello, everyone. I'm Aleksi Nirhamo. I'm a PhD student here at the University of Eastern Finland, and I'm going to tell you about what I'm doing in my PhD project, which concerns lichen communities on the deadwood of Pinus sylvestris. So wood compared to bark is a unique substrate that some lichens have specialized to utilize. And the diversity of lichens that grow on wood is obviously vulnerable to the significant reduction of deadwood volume that has been caused by forest management in Finland. So my PhD project is a part of two larger research projects. The first one is done in an experimental setup that explores the effects of tree retention and the use of fire on biodiversity. You can hear more about this experiment tomorrow in the keynote talk by Jari Kouki. But the experiment consists of two factors. The first one is logging intensity. So we have sites with that have been clear cut with a low level of tree retention, and then sites with a higher level of tree retention, and then sites that have not been cut at all. And the second factor is the use of fire. So half of the replicas in each level of logging intensity have been burned and the other half has not. And thus we have a total of 6 different combinations of treatments. And now 20 years have passed since the study sites were given these treatments. And we are studying what kind of assemblages of epiphytic lichens these treatments have produced onto the study sites over this time period. And as you can see in this picture, these treatments have produced a lot of deadwood, but in this part of the project, I am studying lichens both on living and dead trees. And also the epiphytic lichens have been previously surveyed on these study sites 10 years ago. So I'm able to look into how the lichen assemblages have developed since then. And the second part of my PhD project is within the same research project that you heard about in the previous talk on kelo trees. Kelo trees are of special importance to lichens that grow on wood, since they provide long-lasting, dry and hard wood. That is very important for some lichen species. So we are going to combine lichen inventories with dendrochronological and other detailed data on the properties of kelo trees to see how the lichen assemblages on kelo trees are affected by various environmental factors. Thank you.
Questions? One question online. Okay.
Yes. Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it's very interesting research that I have one question that what's the difference between the high fire and no fire effects on the Lichen community?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. I want to know that what's the difference between that during the fire and no fire condition effects on the Lichen community. What's the difference between these two, high fire and no fire?
Well, we are trying to find out that in this research, but basically the fire is obviously quite destructive for the epiphytic lichens because, you know, they don't survive the fire that well. That's it, basically.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. There's another question in the room.
Could you please explain the difference between deadwood and
Yeah. So kelo trees are like a special type of deadwood. They are these that Marina was explaining in the previous talk. These standing dead pines that have some special characteristics, like they are basically they're just, you can think of them as dead trees that remain standing for a really long time. That's my opinion.
And is the many branch keeping a factor for kelo trees?
Well, it depends on like over time as the kelo remains standing, the branches will fall down. So like fresh kelo trees will have branches and older ones that they will have lost them.
Well, thanks